here. Many say now it was the most lucrative bank burglary in United States history, and the thieves that pulled it off were from right here in Northeast Ohio. In this week's episode of our true crime podcast, Dark Side of the Land, 19 investigator Kelly Kennedy brings you part 2 of the dramatic tale. She sat down with the notorious Cleveland crook whose desire to get rich quick nearly cost him everything.
It was spring 1972. A crew of cunning and calculated crooks from Ohio had just pulled off one of the biggest scores in bank burglary history.
I carried a bag out of there that looked like Santa Claus. Honestly, that bag was humongous.
When the group of professional thieves climbed out of the United California bank vault, they escaped with cash, gold, diamonds, and bearer bonds. The total haul still not known today, but it was without a doubt in the multi-millions.
I had diamonds in there that looked like they were phony.
Because they were so big.
They were so big, yeah.
Among the most experienced of the burglars in the crew was Phil Christopher, a 29-year-old man who had humble roots in Cleveland's Collinwood neighborhood. But he'd been honing his skills as an alarm and safe expert for years.
How did you get so good at that?
I rubbed shoulders with the best of the burglars.
But as good as the thieves were, they made several mistakes that sealed their fate.
When you were headed to the airport to go do the job, you were supposed to use fake IDs.
I didn't want to look like we were stupid or nothing, so I went against my better judgment and went on the plane, even though we didn't have the driver's license, because I figured we weren't going to get caught anyways.
True crime author Rick Perello wrote Phil Christopher's life story. He says the crooks thought they covered their tracks, but they unknowingly left some evidence behind in their California safe house.
They never turned the dishwasher on. They never started it. So there's these dirty dishes. The FBI agents were able to process those and lift prints.
And before long, all of the crooks found themselves behind bars. And unfortunately for Christopher, he didn't learn his lesson. He was still the same old super thief, and his thirst for money was about to drag him even deeper into the criminal underworld.
Would you say the reason you got into crime in the first place was just because you wanted to be rich? You were attracted to that money?
Yes, I always said I wanted to be a millionaire before I was 30. And I was 29 when we got busted on the California job. Never was going to quit. And unfortunately, I didn't make it.
Christopher spent more than a third of his life locked up. He committed more burglaries and also got involved in selling drugs.
Part of the problem with these guys, it's about greed.
But in between the stints in prison, he met the love of his life, Marianne Kowalski, which helped him stay straight.
His stepdaughter has never been one for the spotlight, but she did sit down with me for her very first interview.
He was committed to my mother, and he was committed to myself and my sister and my children. And that was something I had never seen before. Because he didn't have to. He could be like anybody else, any other criminal, any other guy, have girlfriends over here, girlfriends over there. But Philip was never like that.
Coming up in this episode of Dark Side of the Land, what it finally took for Christopher to get his life on the right path and hang up his orange jumpsuit for good, and the lessons the life of crime taught him in the end.
I wish I could take everything back.
In Cleveland, I'm Kelly Kennedy, 19 News.